Check. Checks in the mail.
Standing room
How
only.
many times have we heard that? Nice to have you all here. We're the Rock Show. Do this every like monthly, ladies. And I relate to that. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Earl Johnson, thank you very much. My name is Earl Joynes. And,
I met you before.
Oh yeah, that's right. We've known each other for frickin' 30 years or something like that.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, that's right. Actually 40, but you didn't know me at the time.
Cut it at that.
Okay. You know, so many times that you're asked about, Moxie, because that's your band. I want to talk about the Black Album this time. How much involvement did you have with that because of Tommy being involved?
I never met him.
Really?
Never met him, no. I never met him.
So he came in the studio.
I was gone.
Where were you?
I was back at the hotel.
Yeah?
Me and the producer didn't agree on the solo in Moonrider. And there's about a Scarface pile of cocaine on the mixing console. Which I refused to do because I wanted to be able to play the solo.
Right.
So he kind of went into overdrive and got upset with me about a certain part. I said, look, this is my song, this is why I'm going to play it. This is what's going on. And he said, no, I hear this and this is what I want to hear. And I just said, basically, I wrote the fucking song, this is what I'm going to play. So, and guess what? I lost.
Wow. Was this Toronto? Were you in Toronto?
This was in LA. This was
LA.
at Sound City Studios.
Right.
That's where, a year later, Fleetwood Mac recorded the Big L.
Right.
A lot of famous people went through it, you know?
Yep.
I mean, it was interesting because we got signed to a production company and they spent 35 grand US at that time, which is a lot of money.
Yes.
Fly us down, record the whole thing. And then nothing happened for a year. They couldn't sell it. Everybody thought it was too heavy, it was too metalish and all this. And then finally they talked Polydor into it. And then, it's like, the funny thing was, for a year, we were like in limbo, right? So we were kind of like trying to play all our original music, and we'd be playing bars like Belleville, Rockville, and they'd be looking at you like you're from fucking Mars, man, you know? Like, what the hell are you guys playing, right? And then you go into Moonrider, they go, really? That's what, like, so anyways, we were in Quebec City one time. This is how, like, Moxie was actually the first Zeppelin tribute band.
Right.
I don't know if you ever caught that or not.
No, that's how I originally saw you.
Yeah. What happened was we were playing a place in Quebec called the Electric Circle, and after the second night, the owners threatened to fire us. So he said, I heard you play a Zeppelin song. Can you play 2 more? I said, yeah, I think we could do that. He said, we played 3 Zeppelin songs on a Wednesday night. The place went nuts. So then he comes up and says, can you do a couple more? I said, how many more do you want? He said, maybe a whole set. Sure, what the hell? So anyways, by Friday night we had a lineup. I'm in a lineup, it was wild. And we were playing a whole set of Zeppelin.
Right.
And then what happened was we were going to Brockville the next week, and our price went up $1,000 before we got there.
Holy smokes.
On the basis of doing the Zeppelin show.
Right.
Which is wild because I remember nobody was doing it like we were doing. We'd be playing the Piccadilly Tube, and it was crazy. And the Zeppelin show was the whole focus. So when the record came out in, I think it was the fall of '75, I think it came out in the fall, it was kind of like not doing much, and then we got a call from Texas.
Right.
So it broke for us in Texas. And then, now this, did I tell you the story about the WKRP connection?
No, not at all. Did we? No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Anyways.
I'm as interested as you guys are, sorry.
What happened was, the guy from Texas called up to us and said, hey, we want your boys, y'all come down here, play for us at Randy's Rodeo, which was full of manure when we got there, by the way. But, oh yeah, it was brutal. It was all 99 degrees heat with manure. That's not fun. Anyways, they get us off the plane, get us over to the radio station, and they want to do an interview. He says, so we do an interview, and then he says, okay, listen, give me a couple minutes, I got to play some Moxie. He goes and puts a record on, and then he gets on the phone, he starts selling advertising, like the guy at WKRP, right? Okay. So he's selling on the phone for like 15 minutes. And he goes, hey, I'm going to put the other side of Moxie. He puts the other side on, and then he starts selling again. And he says, Hell, I do this with Rush and Triumph and all you Canadian bands, you know? So
Right.
it was friggin' hilarious. And we just got there, and we had been playing bars nonstop in Ontario. And it was like, okay, Can't You See It Was Started made it to number 10 on Chum. So we were starting to get some lift. It was starting to happen. When we got to Texas, it was like, wow, it was like nuts.
Beatlemania.
It was nuts. But when we're in the interview, and somebody gets on the phone. I get on the phone. Somebody says, "Where are you guys all staying?" I said, "Holiday Inn Durango. Come on over."
Oh,
we had about 100 people. We got there,
nice.
and then they didn't want to let us in.
No.
We had to fight to get in.
Right.
So the Moxie Black album is a story. Is why we still go to Texas to this day.
Wow.
Because of that record.
But you never met Tommy Bolin.
I never met him. No.
Wow.
Never met him. Now I have a conspiracy theory, okay?
Okay, let's hear it.
Our manager was the manager for James Gang and knew Tony Bolin and had worked with him, okay? And basically the way the whole thing went down, and it's good I wasn't on blow because I was straight. If I had been on blow, I would have really been fucked up. But the way the whole thing went down, I was sitting there trying to think, and I'm on the plane back home going, what the fuck just happened, right? And I'm going, this was pre-planned. This was pre-planned because if they put Bolin on the album, it would help sell it. And then they hyped the hell out of Bolin on it, right? You know? And then, the saving grace to me mentally at the end of it was the two biggest songs from the record were Sail On, Sail Away, Can't You See the Star. I did all the guitars and all those tracks.
Nice.
All of them. And they were my two favorite tracks. The ones that Sail On was the biggest song in Texas. You know, so I never had to answer a Tony Bolin question about that, you know. So but it was kind of pre-planned from what I saw. You know.
Was it pure cocaine or was it
I think it was pretty fucking good cocaine. Oh, God. I never did, I can honestly say, you can't show this to my mom, by the way. She's on Facebook a lot.
We're just talking, shit.
Okay, so Mom, if you see this part, blank it out, okay? Anyways.
We got a question over here.
The what? Oh, the Bon Scott story.
Yeah.
Well, we, by 78, we were a big deal in Texas, okay? We had a Riding High album out, and we went down and we did 4 dates with AC/DC, their first 4 dates in the U.S., period. They just got off the plane.
Right.
So they were special guests with us. So they were basically opening up for us, believe it or not.
Right.
Now, you wouldn't believe it nowadays, but that's what happened then. And they had just actually started. Hey, Rush used to open for Kiss regularly
For sure.
in the States, you know. So, anyways, we were in Dallas, and I guess this one night, everybody decided the room I was sleeping in was a party room. So Bon's in there. He's the only one left, and I'm in there. I come in. I'm trying to go to sleep. I had just been somewhere else with somebody else. Okay, so I come home. I want to go to sleep. Okay, so Bon's still drinking. He's still fucking drinking. I say, Bon, can we take you down to your room, or what do you think? He goes, fuck you, mate. You know. And I'm going, okay, this isn't going to be a happy ending, is it? So, anyways, Terry comes by, who's the bass player. I said, Terry, we kind of need to get Bon out of here. And Bon gets up and he takes a swing at me, and he couldn't hit a barn. He was like, I could have caught his hand in midair. Anyways, Terry, I said, Terry, I might be able to get him up over, but I'm pretty drunk. He says, I just lift him over my shoulder. Takes him down the hall, and we knock on Angus's door. Door opens, Angus says, we got your singer here. And he goes, yeah, I've seen this once or twice before.
No kidding.
Yeah. So that's the Bon Scott story.
Wow.
That's the only interaction I ever had with a guy.
Dicey Daisy.
Yeah.
That was dicey with them. Well, it's great that you're carrying on the tradition. What's the future hold for Moxie? Are you guys going to go back to Texas when this fucking COVID thing goes away?
We had a gig already booked. It's been canceled 3 times now, and I've actually written about 5 or 6 new songs for the band.
Nice.
So we're trying to do, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like a newer rock metal kind of thing, and it's not the typical old school stuff, right? So it's a little. Some of it's really heavy, some of it's really melodic.
Well, Nick Walsh can handle it. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a good catch.
Yeah.
Getting him.
Yeah.
How did you meet Nick Walsh? Just through the
You know,
music thing?
this is a crazy story.
Oh, good.
Yeah, what happened was my brother got in an accident at home in Hamilton, and my mom called me. And anyways, what happened is some paramedics had tried to take him out of the basement. He was in bad shape, and they let him fall. He hit his head. He was dead in 2 days. And John Long had talked to me about trying to put a new Moxie together, right? A new version of it. And then Russ was actually the singer. Russ Dorff was singing us at the time. And then John said, I want to record the album now. And then the next thing I know, I'm in the hospital. I'm trying to deal with all this stuff with my mom. And then I find out I'm playing at the Sound Academy with Nick Walsh. I don't know, who the fuck are these guys? You know, I don't, you know. And John goes, you're doing it. You're going to do it. Then you're going to do the album. And I'm going to pay you to do it. And shut up. I said, okay, what the hell, you know. We got the chance to redo 15 songs the way I always wanted to do them. Nick's a great singer. Amazing singer. In Texas, he's the reincarnation of Buzz to those people.
That's cool.
They love him.
Yeah.
I mean, he made it for us down there, going down to the center.
John Long passed away, by the way. And,
Yeah.
you know, what an amazing guy, Long McQuaid.
Oh, he was like, John was the most friendliest guy to musicians. He basically recorded probably maybe 100 albums for people at his cost. You know, never asked for anything back, you know. Was a great guy. You know?
And he walked out of Long McQuaid one day with his headphones in, and some asshole with a bike mowed him down. And I think that was probably his demise.
Yeah,
that's what that was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He fell, and then he wasn't the same after that.
It's too bad. But he has a great legacy, you know. With,
He does.
You know.
No, he does, you know. You know, I'll tell you a funny story. It's like in 2010, I opened up a music teaching school in Pickering, right down at the bottom of Brock Road, right? And ironically, I used to, right across the street, run Sherwin Vega, Canada for 20 years there.
Yeah.
So it was weird. But anyways, we're down there, we're doing great for about 4 years. We got 100 students, we got rock band classes, everything. Long McQuaid's open in Pickering, phone stops ringing. And I remember saying to Debbie, said, we're done. We got to go back. We got to get on the strip, and we're just going to go guitar only, right? So, kind of ironic, it was at the same time that we're doing the Moxie album, and Long McQuaid's put me out of business.
Right.
You know, it was brutal. It was brutal.
Take with one hand.
Oh, yeah.
The other one.
Yeah, it's just crazy, you know. But the Moxie thing, honestly, I'm amazed it still has legs. You know, because I mean, when I had kids, I had my kids in '92. I stopped playing guitar for like 12 years. And then the guys decided to get back together, do an album. And I had basically told most of them to kind of get lost, because I didn't like them anymore. You know?
Yeah.
And what happened was, I actually quit the band in '78. And I looked around the room, and there wasn't one guy in the band at that time that was there when I started it. Wasn't one guy. I said, this ain't the same band. Dream's over, I'm out of here. You know, it was done, you know. It was like, and that's a reality that happens with some bands. You know, when you start something, and like if you listen to Moxie, the first album is like almost heavy metalish. Second album sounds like top 40. Then the third album starts getting harder again. You know, so it's like, we went through a lot of ups and downs.
Well, here we are, you know,
Yeah.
at the bar. And
Where's Rachel? She was supposed to be up here. Rachel!
are you going to be... Are you
Rachel! Come here. No.
No.
I told Al he had an interview for you for a couple
Well,
minutes.
I'm quite partial to you. Drink.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's yours.
Well, Rachel went to school with my son, Evan.
Yeah, that's right.
You know Evan, don't you?
Yes.
Talk about that. I just think this lady's so talented, don't you? I mean, seriously.
Thank you.
I think you've got the band that you need right behind you.
Oh, these guys are great. Ooh, that's very loud. Hello.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah, no, these guys are awesome. It's kind of a funny story, actually, though. It was a couple of years back. You guys, they needed a girl to play in one of their bands and called me in for one of their shows, and I had a lot going on at that time, but I played their show, and we met, and it was a lot of fun. And then we came back around I guess when the time just was right, and here we are. It's been a lot of fun.
What was your first band, Rachel? Who did you play with?
Oh, Misdemeanor.
Yeah, Misdemeanor, that's right. I think I remember that.
That's right, with my mom. My mom, a longtime member of Misdemeanor.
Jackie.
That's right. And also my uncle Al is the bass player in that band, so it's a family affair. That's right.
That's great. So do you do anything? Do you still kind of, reunite every once in a while?
Yeah, and she's an amazing writer too, so we've been talking lately about getting together a little bit and writing some more songs.
Well, it's easier now, with the digital thing, with being able to do it at home with whatever Sony, whatever. What am I trying to say?
I'm not sure.
Well, you can record, a couple of microphones at home.
Oh, yeah.
with a.
You just need a MacBook
think,
and you need some mic and this.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say? Doing some recordings at home and things like that? Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Look
You
at
can
us
interview me
go.
if you like.
We're already finishing each other's sentences. No cute.
So after Misdemeanor, you came, across these guys.
Yeah.
And this is really, your forte.
Yeah, well, it's funny because people will always try and ask you, like, what genre of music do you do, or put you in a box, but I've grown up listening to so much different music that this is just one of the many avenues that I live in music.
What is your forte with music? What do you really?
I mean, I love to write. I've been writing since I was almost just turning on 7. I mean, I'm not sure how good that song was when I was 7, but I wrote. That was when I learned that songs have bridges and choruses and not just ongoing verses.
Can you read music? Can you read music?
So a little bit, but I tend to just kind of go by feel, go by ear, make things my own if I'm doing covers and things like that. But a little bit of everything, except for screamo. You're not going to hear me scream.
Why not?
It's just not for me.
No. You mean like in a metal sense, or
like
okay.
Yeah. That kind of stuff.
You do that, Well, I want to thank everybody.
You see why I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. That's right.
Right? Sing opera. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to dance around
that. That bulb almost broke. Yeah. Well, it's really, really cool to see you with this band, by the way, and that you have, matured to, sing these rock songs that
are older than me.
That are older than you.
There we go again. We've got to stop this.
Right. But I'm showing my age too, which is a real drag. But thank you, Rachel. We're going to sing. You're going to get up here.
Yes,
all right.
Let's do some
Thanks
songs.
so much for your indulgence, by the way. Thank you for this. Thank you.